3, 2, 1, action.
Okay, so this is our first podcast because we often have conversations and we think they're kind of interesting. Actually, we think they're really interesting. So that's why we want to share with you what we talk about and hear what you guys think. As you know, we've been traveling for 3 years and it's about to end. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, it's like we're in Shanghai now, and we started off, in fall 2021. Yeah, 3 years, and we went to Amsterdam, we went everywhere around the world. The only place we haven't been is Australia. And now, we're looking to start a family. We're looking to start our lives back in the States, probably. And it's at a very interesting point in our lives where we have the time, because we're not like out every single day, the time to reflect about life and about all sorts of things. We're learning a lot, and we've learned a lot, and yeah.
So here's our journey, and we were talking earlier, just like before we started the podcast, like what we were doing today. And today I was doing some research about a career I could potentially get interested in. And we talked about our struggles about really diving into the project, because we often have a problem of like wanting it to be perfect, like just our setup to be perfect without actually getting into the meat of the stuff.
Yeah, so you were talking about like potentially being interested in research, like psychology or cognitive science. And the reason we're both interested in that to some degree, because we've done a lot of meditation and yoga and that kind of stuff, and we're pretty interested in how that changes the brain and the brain activity and stuff like that. And yeah, what were you saying about that? You were saying you, instead of starting the research, you were more focused on like what citation app you're going to use.
Yeah,
and I was saying that's kind of like how I spend a lot of time. I just started volunteering for doing some AI stuff, basically, and requires some coding. And basically I was relating to that, how I I just waste time trying to set up my developer environment instead of just writing the code. And so it's similar between two of us, basically. Yeah.
Well, I remember, I think you, so I finally started getting into the meat of it, tried to, and I was on Reddit, and the post of the fly whole DNA being mapped out.
Okay.
And so I clicked on that, and yeah, I thought it was cool. I didn't read it fully, but apparently back in like 1970s, the first like something was mapped, and then it only had 3,600 something.
Some sort of worm, maybe.
I know. No, I don't know what it was. But then the first human DNA sequence was mapped in 2003. And then now, you could say, I guess it's 2024. I don't know when they came out. But now the whole thing, DNA, I don't know, genome of a fruit fly is mapped.
Okay.
And so it's like, wow, like, science. It's just saying, like, I guess the human can eventually be mapped. We don't know when.
Wait, did the human genome not get mapped? I remember there's this thing called the Human Genome Project.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I wish we could look things up during the podcast, but both phones are being used.
True.
Yeah, maybe in the future. I mean, I guess we're just talking now.
Yeah.
But in the future, if we do another one, we can research some of these points.
That's true. And be more accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
Just spewing out fake
things. Or just things that we think.
No, not fake, but not precise.
Yeah, it's probably better to
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool. We can have it transcribe, like automatically transcribe, and then we can feed it to an AI, and then it can summarize the points, and then we can go from there and like look things up if we need to.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's pretty easy nowadays with all this technology.
Yeah, within cognitive science, AI is actually a category.
Yeah.
And I'm like adverse to it because I don't want to get into that. It sounds really complicated, but I probably should keep up with the times.
Well, we're really interested in Claude right now. Claude has been our AI assistant for the past like couple weeks. It's been really helpful for my career planning, for like coding. It's been helping me like evaluate recruiter messages. And you were just using it this morning.
I know. But it's like something that I want to study. I don't really want to study AI development. I feel like AI development goes off of human brain functions.
Yeah, to some degree, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You could create something and then it could provide even an answer into the human brain.
Yeah. I think that's why they're studying it.
Well, anyways.
I remember in school, actually, they used to say if computer science was too like difficult at Berkeley, then you went into cognitive science. Because sometimes you take...
Oh, wait, that's interesting.
Yeah, they take, like, programming classes.
That's hilarious. That's kind of sad.
But I was actually kind of interested in... Because cog sci is, like, the way the brain works, but not, like, quite psychology.
Yeah.
It's, like, the processes behind the brain.
Cognitive science is, like, kind of new, and it's, like, trying to... It's integrating many different fields. Apparently philosophy's in there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
AI, I forget the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, computer science is definitely in it as well. Because, like, we humans have, like, an internal thought process, and that can be modeled as, like, a sequence of steps. And so if you think of it that way, then all computer programs have a internal thought process that can be studied, right? So it's just, if we model the human brain and algorithms in the same kind of way, maybe that's like what cognitive science is kind of about. It's like the study of like algorithms from from the inside, like what it feels like to come up to like problem solve and like come up with solutions from a human perspective and an AI perspective, how these are similar, how these are different. And like, I don't think you necessarily need to get into the nitty gritty of like programming an AI. But like, you can still study it from the outside.
That's true. I want to say, I feel like AI is like, if you study computer science, the computer science side, it's like, it's more simplified than actually studying the human mind. But
Definitely.
but like, apparently what that Berkeley professor said, it sounds like actually the human mind is easier than computer science.
Who said that?
You just said that. The quote, where it's like, if computer science is too hard, go...
Oh, no, I wasn't saying that was a professor.
Oh.
It's just like what the student said. It's a meme, yeah.
Oh,
it's like what the
so it's
students
not
would
actually
say.
real.
No, it's not real. No, I'm sure it's a legitimate field of study.
No, I know it's a legitimate. I'm saying, which one's like easier, or like which one, not easier maybe, but it's like.
Well, it depends, right? Because in undergraduate, when you're taking classes, I think there's less strict requirements on like the hard, like difficult, like programming classes in cognitive science. So that's why they said it was easier. Okay. But in terms of actually really understanding in terms of research, I mean, when you get to that level, everything is hard.
Yeah, everything's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but in terms of like CS, you have to have more of a mathematical minded brain. So in terms, like, you can't really say if one is harder than the other, but I do think that it's rarer to find people who have like really strong math ability than like reading and writing ability and research and analysis. That kind of ability seems to be more common among researchers, whereas like people with really strong analytical reasoning and math skills seem to be rarer. So maybe you could say that makes computer science more difficult. It's just technically more difficult, but you're still pushing the boundary of human knowledge, which is difficult in either way.
I don't think your claim is right, though, because you just focus... Of course there's going to be more people who are better at reading, writing, blah, 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 versus just math.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole bunch of different people versus just one, so it doesn't really...
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways... do you want to talk about what you did today?
Thinking. we're looking out at the skyline of part of Shanghai.
Oh yeah, actually we were up here because we were drinking our tea and snacks, and then I overheard the kids' English lesson, and that she's like, well, how's the weather? And the kids were like, it's rainy. And so I actually wanted to see if it was still raining, but it seems like it's not raining anymore. Yeah, that was a long...
It's a little foggy.
A
These
little
days we
bit.
get like a couple days of rain, of sun, and then it's like raining. So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
saying it's like Seattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shanghai is really similar to Seattle in that
terms of weather.
in terms of, because it's rainy.
I feel like it still has more
It's more hot.
rain.
More.
Sorry, more sun. So it's like almost always cloudy or rainy at this time of year in Seattle. Whereas I don't know, it's like 50-50 here, I would say.
Oh, sometimes it's a blue sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'd get like one
It's still
every
only
couple weeks or something in
I
Seattle.
guess we're kind of in the deep depth of fall. It's already November. No, wait.
Yeah, we're almost in the middle. Well, actually, at the end of fall. Yeah, it's Halloween today.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, yeah, happy Halloween. We stayed inside. Eric got a haircut. No candy. Except chocolate. Dark chocolate.
Yeah, that comes back to what I was doing. I've been busy trying to find a job basically because I've been unemployed for the last 2 years, and it's been good because I think I'm kind of a workaholic even when traveling. I think this is something that I've been learning to get over, and still I'm trying to, and it's crazy. It's like, how can I still be a workaholic when I'm don't even have a job, right? And I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with my upbringing or something like that. But it's like I couldn't sit still, or I couldn't be satisfied with like just going like halfway. So whenever we went to some location, I'd need to make sure we took all the photos of all the things, and we'd stay out for as long as possible. And this became very tiring after some time, which made Ali really dislike travel. But over the last like half year or so, I've gotten a lot better, in part due to meditation, which has basically allowed me to re-examine my perspective on life and like what is driving me to these lengths. And I could go a lot more into that. But what has that been like on your side? I say this a lot, but maybe it feels different for you.
Oh, well, actually, I wanted to ask, like, I know meditation has helped you not be so intense about photo taking and seeing every little thing, but I also wonder if it's also like, oh, maybe you're just losing interest, and also it's like, what's the point? Or you're making an excuse not to go so ham. So you're like, oh, I don't even... Because these days you don't even bring out the camera. Because, like, obviously we're just doing normal daily chores.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't even, like, want to get into it.
This brings us to another topic, which is
Yeah.
about how I tend to be a very all or nothing with things. And it's like, for example, so the most common example, I think I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, is bringing your phone into the bathroom when you go for number 2. And so, like, I would spend a long time. I think I had a problem where I would spend, like, an hour a day or more. Like, an hour each time I would poop. I had some, like, stomach problems. I think there was definitely some, like, aversion to the idea of going poop because I had some stomach problems when I was in high school. And that led me to, like, so my phone was, like, a way of, like, passing the time because I had this aversion to, like, being on the toilet. And sometimes it would take me a long time to get it over with. So I'd just be on the phone, but eventually, like, I realized I didn't need to be on, as I got healthier, my bowels started moving better, and I didn't need to stay on the toilet for so long, but I did because I just got stuck on my phone. And I found that the most effective way was just to not bring my phone to the toilet, which is actually fine, it's healthy. But whenever I brought my phone, I could just never leave it to a time limit. Like, I would just get stuck on it after, like, 15 minutes. I would say I'm only going to be on there for 15 minutes. It never worked out. And so the only thing I found was it's all or nothing. It's like I either bring my phone and then, like, I just get stuck in it, or I have to have the discipline, not bring the phone in, which works for the toilet. It's actually healthy not to bring your phone to the toilet. But what happens when you apply that same reasoning or method to like photography, for example? Then I don't even bring my camera and try to take photos at all, because I'm afraid of like spending too much time or getting too into it. That's photography is okay, because I still sometimes bring the camera out when I feel like we're going, I guess, on a more scenic day. But on like normal occasions, I won't bring it, and I feel like that's okay, because I just have so many photos to go through, and it's rough.
It's true. I guess you actually have found a balance.
Yeah, but I think it's worse for stuff like starting a project. Like, I think it would have been hard for me in the past to like even start this podcast, because I would be like, oh, if I start this, then I have to finish it, right? So, but I'm slowly learning to like allow things to be unfinished. So if this podcast doesn't go anywhere, I'm okay with that. And like, I want to like be able to start more things. I didn't want to be that kind of person that just starts a bunch of things and never finishes them. But I don't want to be on the other extreme either, which I currently am. So, yeah. So I feel like I talked a lot.
No, this is good. It seems like for you needed to do a lot of trial and error in order to figure out the median. So, and regarding your work, right now you're in the all or nothing stage. But like with time, eventually you will find a sweet spot. I know it. I believe. So, yeah. Well, actually, you've been doing a lot better lately. How's the time?
Yeah, so like I say I'm gonna spend like an hour doing this volunteering project, and then I set a timer, and then like I just can't finish because I know I have to get something done, and I feel like, and then an hour later passes and I'm not done, but I know I can get there, and I'm not satisfied until I finish it. So I need to basically experience that discomfort from pulling away of my current task and like allowing myself a break, or even to not work on it for the rest of the day if that's what I planned. But this is something I need to work on, which is like if I'm fully focused on what I'm doing for a chunk of time, then I should just be done after that chunk of time if I planned it that way, instead of like letting it bleed through. I think that is what causes burnout and like will make work life a lot worse.
Right.
So.
Okay. I think I've got it. It's the overarching idea topic. It's like, I guess when you start seeing that there's a problem, you first have to become aware of it, and then you have to realize, how is this like hurting me in my life? And then after becoming aware of it, then you need to then the next step is to try to make change in order to like make it not be as bad. you need to be open to trying different ideas and not giving up when the first one fails.
Yeah.
And that's what you've been doing, and it's been great seeing you improve. I've already seen you improve, and that's like, yeah, what's happening now with your work, what happened with photo taking, what happened took a long time with the pooping. But yeah, that's what everyone says, but it's just so interesting seeing it in your example.
What everyone says again?
Well, everyone's like, you first have to be aware of your problem, and then you can start making change in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you have to be open to wanting to like strive for this better life that you want.
What have you been working on in terms of your, like, what are the things that you feel like you need to work on? Because I feel like it's been mainly, I've been like stressed these days, but today was better, I think, because I have a lot of free time right now. And a lot of these days I feel like I haven't been allowing myself any free time. But today, like, this is like free time, so this is good.
Is free time.
Yeah.
My problems are that I often don't stick with things when they get too hard because I'm afraid of failure. But I've been working on it.
You want to talk about tutoring?
Oh, God. Well, okay, the thing with tutoring is, like, I know if I wanted to be a teacher, I could just be one and just keep trying. But the thing is that I found out about research, and so it's like, oh, I kind of want to explore that too. I guess you could say I could explore both at the same time.
But I mean, I want you to talk more about like what's been going on with Damon. Is it really just that you're quitting now because so Ali is tutoring this kid. This it's a friend of a friend who has a 7-year-old boy, and he speaks like almost no English, but the mom wants him to learn English. And Ali has been tutoring him for a while, and I think she's been doing a very good job. But you don't seem to think so. Or are you at the point where you feel like things are getting difficult and you want to quit? Is that the reason?
Oh, I just feel lost, I guess, because I guess it's like I feel lost and it's getting difficult, and like it requires work if I want to actually make it work. And I don't really want to make it work, so I'm not willing to put in the work. And because technically we have a goal, which is to learn phonics, to learn all the sounds in the alphabet. And I can make a chart of like what he's accomplished and what he hasn't yet. And it sounds like a fun idea, talking about it. But anyways, I don't know. I watched and I listened to the other tutor, and so I have an idea for what to do in my next tutor session. But yeah, it's just hard because it's like I don't really have any direction. Technically, the direction is the phonics. And I guess it's a very simple direction. So, and I'm just putting a lot of pressure on myself to like do well, because it's a struggle because he doesn't respond to English commands, and I always have to say the Chinese ones first, which makes sense because he speaks Mandarin. So I just need to push myself and keep repeating it and have them repeat it back. I basically like know what I need to do. It's just when it comes to the point when Damon is in my class that it all goes out the window, and I don't want to push him too hard. He seems to not understand, and so if I just say random English words at him, he doesn't draw a connection, and it makes me feel very sad and defeated.
You talked about this with your mom today, right?
She gave me ideas about what I can do in my class. She also kind of encouraged me. She's like, well, the idea was like, we actually used to bake things, like baking a brownie or a muffin. They'd talk through the things, and then at the end they'd get to eat it, and then they'd be learning passively.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cute idea.
Mm-hmm. Do we have an oven?
No. So maybe we can make something else. I don't know. Okay. And then she gave me advice, or like encouragement, words of encouragement that like, I'm literally starting with 0, and teachers are usually given a curriculum. They don't create their own curriculum.
True.
So it's like, it's not like I'm going to immediately start out as a teacher. I'm going to start out as a teaching aide. So
yeah,
it's not
or a
like
substitute.
I'm leading the class, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I can become a teacher if I want to.
I think Billy mentioned that he was Billy, our friend in China. He's a international high school teacher in Shanghai. So he's given a few pointers. He mentioned that you can do substitute teaching.
Oh yeah, I've heard
first,
of that.
And you get paid for that, and you don't need to have the degree yet.
It's funny because substitute teaching is just like watching over kids. It's like
you're like in a classroom instead of tutoring.
True.
It's different, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember having substitute teachers, and they kind of, either they would maybe teach something, or they would just let us have free homework time.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy for you, right?
Yeah, that's so easy. It's just a joke, it sounds like. But obviously it's a good way to get in.
Yeah.
To try.
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure you'll end up teaching at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know, because both are, teaching sounds fun, but also research is fun. I guess doing research is like a guilty pleasure. I just like learning. new things. And
Well,
hearing
then
about new
if you like
things.
that, then I think research will be good. It's just for me, research is hard because I hate like the way they write research papers is just absolutely awful.
They're so boring.
Really boring.
But like, I feel like they're boring because, well, okay, one, they're kind of boring, but two, we don't know a lot of the terms.
Yeah.
Which makes it incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Equals boring.
But I was telling you earlier, but I feel like I'd have a lot easier time reading papers with the AI assistant like Claude. These days I find it so much it's so much more readable and in simple plain language.
Yeah.
And if there's something that you don't understand, you can ask it to get more deep into it.
Right.
So, yeah.
But I guess that's exciting because like I'm excited to learn new terms. It's just that there's an overload of new terms because in the research community they basically
invent new terms.
No, they assume you already know those terms because you're already in the area.
That's true. I mean, here's the thing, right? If you go into research, I can't imagine a situation where you won't have to go back to school.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can start off
I have to go back to school as a teacher too. Anyways.
Yeah, you can start off as like a coordinator or research assistant.
Clinical research.
But eventually, if you really want to do research, you have to get a PhD, right? They pay you for a PhD, technically.
I don't know if I want to do my own research. It's like, well, I mean, obviously it's fun, like, coming up with questions. But it's like, I'm okay with assisting people doing their research. I'm okay with that. Okay. People have really good questions. And I'm sure the questions I have is already out there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I can even talk about it to another researcher who already has the PhD, and then they can do it themselves. Mm-hmm. So I'm not as interested in making my own project right now. Maybe it will come to that time once I get more experience.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We just started learning about this, so we'll see when things get hard.
Yeah.
If it changes.
Oh my God, we're at the 27 mark. It feels like it's already been an hour.
How long do we want to talk?
Maybe this can be good enough.
30 minutes?
Yeah. I think it's okay for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like I have some more things to talk about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Let me think.
Ad break.
Yeah, ad break. People say your mom and some of the other there's a tea shop downstairs. And we sometimes go there. We've been there twice now. And their owners are very nice. And the workers there, and they were like, they told me I have a very nice voice.
Oh yeah.
For like speaking or something.
Is
smooth.
And deep.
Wait, I don't know about deep.
It is deep.
Is it?
It's deep and commanding and very clear.
Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah, I just don't know if it's very deep.
Okay, it's not very deep, but it's deep.
I can see how
it's
I'm kind of interested on like if there's a way I can like measure that, across the average.
Oh yeah, you can just do the decibels.
Yeah, no, not decibels. It's frequency.
No? Frequency?
Yeah.
Oh, what are decibels?
Decibels is loudness.
Yeah. It's because your voice is very loud in my ear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. My voice projects sometimes when I don't want it to.
Everyone in China turns their heads once they hear Eric speaking English.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I speak, I feel like they don't turn as much. Probably because I speak quietly. Or
I
don't want to be heard.
I try to speak quietly. I don't understand.
It's okay. Keep talking.
I have to think about what I want to say. What is that car? That car has like a light on top of it. Do you see that?
I see it.
It looks like a drone or something.
No,
what is it?
不会吧?
No. But it's interesting. It's a really bright light on top of that car. I wonder if it's like a camera or like a drone.
Like it's
super
a
interesting.
Camera.
Like, yeah.
Could also be like something police related.
The electrical vehicle adoption in China is absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like there's almost no gas vehicles anymore. All the scooters are silent basically.
Actually, Pan Ai's car uses gas. But it's like
does
very
her car?
Quiet
Does
car.
Bing Ai's car?
I don't know. We didn't ask.
But we were in the car.
I feel like it kind of does.
Do you remember it making noise?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Did I ask her about
Maybe
that?
cars are just quieter though. Maybe they do use gas.
No. If it's a gas car, it definitely you can tell when you even the new ones.
You can't really tell when you're inside.
No, but when it starts up, you can hear the engine. But I know what you mean. When you're like driving it's hard to tell, especially as a hybrid sometimes.
Oh, the lights just came on.
Yeah.
So bright. In my eyes. Oh yeah, you're talking about your voice. How's that related to things?
Oh yeah, no, I just like it's interesting that I'm putting the voice to use on a podcast.
Oh my god.
You know, I used to be super scared. Oh, it's also because we've been
good speakers before.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot better at that. I don't know. It also feels like it has to do with meditation. Right. I don't know. I always talk about meditation. And I guess it's hard to talk about meditation because it's like so broad for me, like the benefits. And it's also really hard to explain how just sitting there for hours actually leads to change. It doesn't make any sense logically. And it's part of that is like you just have to experience it to like go through it and then go through the change, right?
I have a take.
What?
Okay, so I know you believe that everyone should do meditation.
To try it. I think they should try it.
Okay, try it.
Because
that's reasonable.
Well, I mean, part of me feels like everyone can do it if they put their mind to it. Yeah. But they have to. I think the important thing is not that meditation is not right for everyone. It's just that you can't force people to do it.
Yeah, of course.
And like people need to really believe that it will help them in some way. So it's the amount of time it takes for someone to like really to have that shift differs. And I think for us, it was pretty immediate. Like even the first few times we tried it, we felt like it was helpful, at least a little bit. Yeah. And so for some people who try it and even for like 10 full days of meditation, it's possible. Right. I don't really think I've met anyone who's done that and like said it wasn't useful at all. But I can imagine people trying meditation at home and being like, this doesn't really do anything. I don't know why I'm doing it. And so that is different. But I think that everyone, if they somehow are able to truly believe or truly see for themselves that there is something there, that it can work for everyone. It's just that it's hard as a different amount of time that people will gain some certain benefit from it, and it differs for everyone. And it's really hard because it's such a thing. Like I recommend everyone to go on a 10-day retreat, and it's like you need to find time for that. And then I kind of believe that if it's any less than that, it won't really be lasting change. But that's not an evidence-based belief, but yeah, that's why it's hard, because you have to give up your life for a few days and you have to like put some faith in it that like it'll actually do something.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to make a point where it's like, okay, sure, meditation's not for everyone. And so like if someone just finds like their favorite sport or their favorite hobby, isn't that the same as meditation? But I realize actually meditation is different from other sports and hobbies. Don't you agree? Like
definitely.
Like, okay. Yeah, I guess then they're actually, well, anyways, meditation is cool because yeah, so like everyone talks about like getting into the zone or the flow of things, and like you can get that into that in any sport you do, any hobby you do, and meditation, of course. But I feel like this flow is not really it's not really the point of meditation.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
And the point of meditation is actually to retrain your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's why everyone should at least try meditation. And maybe it's not for everyone, but at least like trying it. And that's why it's different.
Yeah.
Okay. I was having an internal like way like how can or like
I think that was very well put. I think the main problem is that everyone has a different definition of meditation these days.
Yeah, that's true.
And people have different requirements. So when you say everyone should try it, what does that mean? for different people that can mean different things. It means like, do you try it for like 5 minutes a day or like something like that? My definition is quite extreme, having gone to these retreats.
Yeah.
I think that you haven't really tried it unless you've taken yourself out of society for at least 10 days and gone to one of these Vipassana retreats.
I think everyone can try meditation. Okay, I still think people should try it, and if they like it, they like it. But I think if you want to try the type of meditation that we're doing, you need to go to this 10-day retreat in order to learn the technique.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like you can play soccer and like juggle around the ball, pass it. But if you actually want to get good at it, I think, well, actually, if you want to get good at it, I feel like you can't just play like scrimmages with local other people. Like, you actually have to join a team. You actually have to get training. And that's what we're talking about with meditation. It's a course, it's a training to actually establish you in the technique and how to do it correctly, basically. Yeah. And to get to the most benefits out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why Eric recommends the course, and that's why I would recommend the course too, but I still think people can do meditation, the more like general ones, I guess, where it's like, oh, just close your eyes for 5 minutes, be mindful, look around you.
It's definitely
look at the
helpful,
colors,
yeah.
smell the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good gateway.
We started getting into this stuff from like yoga, I think. We was watching Healthy Gamer.
Healthy Gamer.
Yeah, Healthy Gamer. He's I guess he's pretty popular now on YouTube.
Oh my god.
Mental health professional who was like targeting like gaming communities at the time.
Addicted gaming.
Yeah. But he like went to India and like studied to become a monk for like 7 years, and then he went to Harvard somehow. Yeah, 7 years is way longer than we've been doing like these spiritual things.
Yeah, that's so true.
But at the same time, it's like I attribute a lot of my current personality even and goals and everything to like meditation. A lot of it has come from that time spent alone in the retreats. But I will say that it's hard to attribute to any one thing, because we've been traveling. We've had so many experiences. Like, we did ayahuasca, we did yoga, we did a yoga teacher training. And it's very hard to like say what exactly it is. It just feels like the most explosive growth came from the time at retreat. And yeah, I think it's just interesting how you see someone like Dr. K, who's now owning a very, very successful like YouTube stream and company, even, and helping a lot of people at the same time.
I feel like successful things become successful when you actually help people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or you fill a need in society of some sort, right?
But I feel like it also, obviously filling a need is good, but it also has to be good for people. But I mean, there are many examples like Coca-Cola still being a brand out there, even though it's very unhealthy.
Right.
But also, if you have it in moderation, it's okay. Yeah,
definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always a balance to be had, right? Like, if Healthy Gamer grows too big, and all they're doing is like trying to get money or find new clients or something like that, then even Healthy Gamer can become like a force of evil in the world or have some negative side effects to that, right? But yeah, I mean, there's a balance to everything, and there's always going to be a positive and negative side of interacting with society, and that's also why
can't there just be a positive?
Is there?
You can just be nice.
I guess just living, just existing in society means that certain evils have to be done. We try to keep the harm done to a minimum, right? But even then, you can't deal with all the crop deaths.
That's true. Oh no, we're getting into
yeah. So as soon as you like try to live in society, there's always gonna be some, and like on the garbage that we accumulate, the energy that we use. I mean, these things can be done in moderation. But like when things grow too fast, too quickly, that's when
the world can't keep up with all the people.
Yeah. I mean, it can. We just...
The resources?
Yeah.
The resources?
I think it's possible.
You think so?
Yeah. I
Population's
mean, we're
just growing so fast.
we're doing the best we can.
That's true.
And making sure everyone can stay fed and everything.
Right. There is a lot of food.
Logistically speaking, everything is like, even the poorest people should theoretically be able to have enough food and water. It's just a matter of getting it to them, getting the resources to them. That is difficult. And I don't know enough about this area to talk more.
Right.
But yeah. What was I saying? We were talking about meditation. I don't know if I'm done talking about that yet. We wouldn't have started this. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to just start this podcast without like.
Wait, I think the kids are leaving. They're trying to say goodbye.
Really? Should we pause?
But yeah. Okay, I'm getting tired.
Okay, yeah, I'm done.
My brain's dead.
I think I'm done too. Okay, that was our. So we did about an hour.
Yeah.
And that was a good amount of time.
Yeah, this is the end of our first podcast. We touched on AI, our careers,
Vipassana meditation.
Vipassana, big one. Actually, we never said the name, I think.
I said it, I think.
Oh, you did. And then we talked about parenting at the end.
So I guess it really does. I think almost every one of our podcasts, the topic of meditation is going to come up. We talk about meditation all the time, but like the takeaway here is always like, as always, do a 10-day course if you haven't tried it. I think that it's valuable for every single person, and
I mean, in every podcast we'll be going back to old topics, talking about new findings in research, and just our day-to-day things that we see, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost time for meditation, actually.
It's 6:50 and we start at 7:30.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.